Welcome to this special edition talking about the Regional Green Economy Forum in Tangier, Morocco. I attended that about a week ago. So I had an absolute pleasure meeting a truly remarkable leader. He's called Manuel de Araujo. He's the mayor of Quelimane City in Mozambique. He also affectionately known as the cycling mayor. So not only does he lead his city by example, literally cycling to work, but also campaigning on two wheels, but he also stands on the front line of climate change. So in this interview that I had with him, so Mayor de Arroyo share the raw realities, what it means to govern a coastal city hit annually by extreme weather, and how his administration is fighting to adapt to protect livelihood and also preserve the environment. So this is a powerful reminder for us to see that climate crisis is not just theoretical, it's a daily life for many. So I invite you to listen to what he says very carefully.
Okay, I'm here with somebody very special that I met at the conference. So that's the Regional Green Economy Forum organized by the WGO, which is a World Green Economy Organization, and I met a few. So this Manuel, but I'd like you to properly introduce yourself. So would you mind telling me who you are?
Well, I'm Manuel de Araujo, and I'm the mayor of Quelimane City in Mozambique. Quelimane City is the capital of Zambezia province, and it's the fourth biggest city in Mozambique with about 400,000 inhabitants. It's a coastal city, and it was built on the banks of the river Good Signs or Rios Bons Sinais in Mozambique.
Excellent, excellent. So, as I say, I've heard you speak at various panels, right? And I was very interested about what you say. So you told me that your city is actually, although it's a full city in Mozambique, which is a big country, but it's quite special. I know Mozambique has been in the news recently, or the last couple of years, because there have been a couple of extreme events with, and you surely will talk to me about that. But first of all, why is your city special in Mozambique?
Well, my city is special because it played a very important role historically in Mozambique. It used to be the third biggest port in Mozambique. And because Mozambique is on the coast of many interland countries like Malawi, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Swaziland, and even big parts of South Africa. Mozambican economy is what I would call is a transition economy, in the sense that most of the imports and exports from those interland countries go through Mozambique. Okay. So Malawi used to export and import through Quelimane. Today it's imports and exports more through Nacala Port or Beira Port, which then developed. But in the past, it was Quelimane, the main gateway for Malawi, but also for Zambezia, because this province called Zambezia was the basket of Mozambique. Just to give you an example, in 1972, 73, and 74, before Mozambique in the independence, the Zambezia province was producing about 30 to 35% of Mozambican GDP. So you can imagine, it was like the basket of the country. We have vast land, very fertile land. You can literally produce anything. And we used to have like the biggest coconut tree plantation in the world. We used to have also big plantation of sisal, of maize, rice, but also we had a lot of animals, like the husbandry industry was very well developed. So definitely my city, the city of Quelimane, played a very important role in the Mozambican economy. Also my city is very well known for its gastronomy. Normally we say that Zambezia and Quelimane in particular has got the best food in Mozambique. Our prawns are worldwide known as the best prawns in the world. But also we have a specific chicken kind, it's called chicken piri piri. which it's a kind of a combination from Portuguese cuisine or Asian cuisine with its piri piri and garlic stuff, and African. So it's a combination of those three cuisines which make it a very rich gastronomy and like food industry.
Excellent. And I believe there's something else special. You talked to me about the cycling city.
Oh yes, in terms of mobility, the city of Quelimane is known as the cycling capital of Mozambique. We have more bicycle per capita than any other city, in not only in Mozambique but in Southern Africa, if not even in Africa. And I'm known as the cycling mayor. Yes, because I do most of my stuff by cycling. I go to work cycling, and I do campaigning because I won already 4 campaigns for 4 elections, and I don't use cars during my election. I either walk or cycle, and most of the time I cycle. That's why I'm known as the cycling mayor.
It's good to be here with the cycling mayor. So we talked about the recent event that happened in Mozambique the last couple of years. So being at the forefront of climate change. And this is not something people are always aware of. So what really got me interested talking to you in this conference is because I thought maybe you can give us a better idea. What is that you're really enduring so that people get to understand what we're talking about? Sometimes it's good when we talk about climate change to personalize it with people that live through it. Maybe.
Well, yes, because Mozambique is on the coast, as I said, and my city also is a coastal city. Every single year, we are hit by a cyclone. Sometimes it's just the rain, other times it's the wind. But for example, 2 years ago, the city of Quelimane, which is my city, was hit. Like the cyclone Freddy, it came straight into my city. Like for 3 to 4 days, you couldn't drive in my city. All the work we had done in terms of planting trees and so on was multiplied by 0 because all the trees fall. So like we took like 3 to 5, almost a week. We had even to ask help for the army to come and help us because you couldn't drive in the city for almost a week. And most of the infrastructure, be schools, hospitals, and up to now, we still have very huge parts of the provincial hospital which have not been recovered 3 years on because of the impact. Also huge. Even like my own office, the municipality, was cleared out because with the impact. It took us almost 3 months to rebuild the main office, and then other institutions like schools, hospitals. And as we speak, as I said, we have some schools which are not yet recovered. There are some hospitals which are not, in other private and public infrastructure. So the heat of extreme events is very high in my city. And unfortunately, it's more frequent. Normally we used to have 1 every 4 or every 5 years, but now it's almost like every year. And like 2 years ago, we had 2 in a month. So it's really a challenge. From January to May, those are like the cyclone months, the bad weather.
So essentially what we're saying here is most of the time this kind of event, they will stay in the news cycle for 2 to 3 weeks. But for you, you've been telling me you've been 3 years on, you're still dealing with consequences, the aftermath.
Oh yes, definitely.
That's it, yeah.
And
do you know how much
kids are still studying in a room without a ceiling, Not 1, not 2 schools, but like many schools that haven't managed to get resources to rebuild what was destroyed by the cyclone.
How much would it cost? I don't know if you worked that out. How much, approximately, to sort of bring everything back to what it used to be? Well, is it even possible because it's every year now?
Yeah, because the point is, when Cyclone Freddy, which was one of the biggest that hit directly my city, and then every other year you get it. So like, what was destroyed? If it wasn't recovered in a year, it gets worse. And year on and year pass by, things are getting really worse. And it's really a challenge, a huge challenge. Like we are living with climate change impacts. We are not hearing, it's on our day-to-day life. And like the way we think, the way we plan, the way we manage is always influenced by the impact of climate change.
And thank you for being a mayor proactive, coming to a session like what we have here, platform, just to engage and talk to people. So now talk to me. So while you're here in Tangier, Morocco, for the regional Green Economy Forum, what is your message? What are you looking for potential partners? What do you want?
Well, first of all, I came here to learn what other cities are doing in terms of mitigating and adapting to climate change impacts. Second, also, I brought my own experience because I've been a mayor for the last 14 years and I've seen so many extreme events in my city. And we've been managing, we've been recovering, and then it hit again. So like I also brought here my own experience, and I expect to meet funders because we have several pilot projects, like the transformation of waste into biogas, so that people will stop cutting the mangroves which surround my city and are the first line of defense against flooding and against erosion. But also mangroves are very important for my city because more than 60% of the citizens they get their livelihood, their income from the fishing industry. But because they are poor, they do cut the mangroves either for cooking or for building their houses. And so what we are trying to do to bring in alternatives so that they stop cutting the mangroves, because if they cut the mangroves, our city Quelimane City will be more vulnerable to flooding and erosion, but also by cutting the mangroves, they are depleting the biodiversity, which will then affect their own livelihood, because most of the fishes, they do reproduce themselves in the mangroves. So if you destroy it, then the livelihood of more than 6% of the citizens of my city will be definitely affected. So by coming in here, I'm sharing what we are going through. I'm looking for other cities' experiences, but also I'm looking for support, be it financially or in terms of human resources.
Okay, thank you very much. That was a short, snap interview. Like I said, I found you today. Say I can't leave without making sure that we talk to you, and we have this short interview. So thank you very much, and then I'm sure you're going to find more than one response or solution that could potentially apply to your beautiful city, Quelimane, in Mozambique. So thank you for watching us.
Thank you.
So speaking with Mayor Manuel de Araujo was both inspiring but also sobering. So his story is one of resilience, innovation, but also urgent need. Quelimane City is a city rich in culture, history, and also natural resources, but it's also vulnerable, facing the harsh and accelerating impact of climate change. So from mangrove preservation to climate resilient infrastructure. So it's clear the city is doing its part, but international collaboration and investment are essential. I hope this conversation reminds us all of the human face behind the climate headlines and also the urgent need to support local leaders like Manuel de Araujo, the mayor, who is creating solution against the odds. So thank you for tuning in and let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share the comment with people that you know, and looking forward to talking to you for another of these interviews. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.